Hi everybody, welcome. I'm Bruce Beck. I'm glad you're here. I have a dessert for you that is really as simple as anything you could possibly make. Of course, it's very easy to go out and buy really good ice cream these days, but once in a while for a special party, you want something really unusual. So this is what we're making today. This is one made with chestnuts, and we're going to do it according to the Italian tradition called semifreddo, which means half cold. It's essentially ice cream, but it's still frozen rather than being churned. That depends on some good light whipped cream. So that will give it the lightness and that nice texture that ice cream has without having to do all that churning. This is 2 bags of roasted peeled chestnuts, 3.5 ounces each, and we're going to use some condensed milk. Condensed milk comes in 14-ounce cans, and we're going to use like about 3/4 of it, something like that. You can always taste it and decide if you want to use a little bit more. If you want a little more sweetness, you can do that, but usually 3/4 of it is about right. We need a teaspoon of good vanilla extract, or maybe a little extra. And we need a tablespoon of some kind of good brandy. Then we just process this until it's smooth and filled in the whipped cream. So let me get this going. Almost there. Let's give it another minute. So I've got my cream in a bowl for whipping. Okay, so we've got 2 cups of heavy cream, and I'm going to use the immersion blender to whip it. So just pulse to start with. And do it on low if you have speed. Okay, once it starts to thicken, it goes pretty fast. Okay, you can test it this way to see if it'll hold peak. So we're very close. We're almost there. Okay, there we go. Okay, now all that remains is to fold these together. So we have the puree right into this bowl. Then we fold in the cream, and that's it. For the folding technique, the first thing that we want to do is to take about 1/4 of the cream and actually stir that in to lighten the mixture so that we'll get so that it'll be easier to fold in the rest without losing the lightness. Okay, so when that is actually stirred in, you can see it's lightening up already. Then we'll put the rest of the cream on top, and I'll show you the folding technique. So folding is very important. You want to cut down through the center and then turn the bowl. Turning the bowl is as important as anything, so that the spatula lifts it over. You want to fold just enough to get it combined, not one extra stroke, because every fold will remove that air that'll give us a nice texture. So you want to scrape this into some kind of dish that you can freeze it in. It doesn't really matter too much what you decide to use, although it's kind of fun sometimes to unmold it. So you decide whether you want to unmold it or whether you want to scoop it like ice cream. It's up to you. So there's our container, and I have one that I made yesterday. This one I'm going to unmold, and while this is softening just a tiny little bit, I'm going to make a quick chocolate sauce to go with it. So this is some coffee, some bittersweet chocolate morsels will do it, and maybe 2 or 3 ounces of hot coffee. We'll just let that warm up, and I'm going to add some vanilla to it, and might as well use the last of the condensed milk since it's here, which gives a lovely fudgy texture to these kinds of sauces. So we just have to warm that up enough to melt the chocolate. The condensed milk is really nice in chocolate sauces. It just gives that wonderful fudgy kind of hot fudge sundae texture that a lot of us remember from childhood. So meanwhile, let me go ahead and unmold this. If you have problems getting it to release, all you have to do is dip your container into hot water or put a hot towel on it. There we go. So, you know, if you need to, you can run your little spatula around the edges and things like that. But with frozen things, you shouldn't need to do that. Just a little bit of warmth from a hot water or from a warm towel should take care of it. This is definitely warm enough now. I just need to stir it enough to finish melting the chocolate. When it's completely melted, it will get perfectly smooth. We're not quite there yet, as you can see. Okay, so can you see how nice and smooth this is getting and fudgy? And you'll also want to let the sauce cool a little bit. It should be just barely warm. There we go. My squiggle, and you can also let it cool on the bottom of your platter, and there we are. When you're ready to serve it, you can carve it with a sharp knife. Probably just of the sauce. Okay, lovely. Good. And the chocolate sauce is just wonderful with the chestnuts, especially the fudgy one with a little bit of sweetened condensed milk in it. So I'm Bruce Beck. Thank you for being with me today for my chestnut semifreddo with bittersweet chocolate sauce. Thanks, guys.